I had become aware before moving here that the Disney company had not only governmental powers, much like a city, but also immunities to many forms of external government regulation. And that intrigued me as a political scientist, how they got that and how that would work when you gave governmental powers to a private business corporation. I was also very aware that Disney World had transformed Orlando from an economy based on services and agriculture to what it is today and the tourist mecca that it has become. And I thought that was an interesting story. And I began to read a little bit when I came in 1984. There were lots of magazine articles, pretty well researched, some of them, that told pieces of this story. But the story had not been told in book length yet. And so I saw an opportunity. Now, I was finishing a book at that time when I moved here in 1984, and then I had another book in the pipeline, and I finished that. So it wasn't really until the mid-1990s that I had the opportunity to focus on this book. And I had given a few speeches around town based upon my preliminary research. And at one of those talks, I hit upon the metaphor of love and marriage as a suitable metaphor for describing this relationship between the big corporation and the local governmental community. There's an adage that men and women use about one another: can't live with them, can't live without them. And I thought, you know, that kind of summarizes the relationship of conflict but also interdependency that is at work in Orlando's relationship with the Walt Disney Company. There's another adage or thought line, I guess, that whom you marry affects what you may become. Mothers and fathers are very conscious of that consideration with respect to their sons and daughters about whom they marry. And I decided that that adage was apt for thinking about the economic takeoff that occurred with Orlando's marriage of the Walt Disney Company. There is a theory in political science called path dependency that's used to talk about economic development. And basically what path dependence says is, depending upon where you start from, some places you can't get to because of where you start. And that may be applicable to the Orlando economic development story because our economic takeoff was associated with tourism. And that may preclude certain other possibilities like a Silicon Valley, like becoming a high-tech mecca. We are what we are because of whom we married, what industry we married in the economic takeoff period. Now, in the book, as some of you know, I use chapter headings that correspond with stages of a marriage. I'll resort to the book here. Serendipity happens in a lot of relationships, and I'm going to talk about serendipity. Seduction, secrecy, marriage, growth, conflict, abuse, negotiation, therapy. Some have asked me, why not divorce? Oh God, no. And the short, cute answer is, there are too many children. You can't afford to divorce in this case. You can only imagine therapy as a way of dealing with the problems in the relationship. Now, those chapter headings all correspond with stages in real marriages between people, but they also fit rather well, I thought, describing stages of the economic development marriage of the Walt Disney Company. Thank you for your patience. Yeah. Thank you.